Hi, my name is Ryan Dewey, and I decided to do my research project over Margaret Fuller. The book that I used is called Minerva and the Muse, A Life of Margaret Fuller. Margaret Fuller was a writer and an editor who became famous through her writing. Margaret Fuller was an educator who not only educated children, but older women with no education as well. Margaret Fuller became America's first feminist, fighting for women to have equal rights, just as much as men did. This is a little bit of Margaret Fuller's personal background. Margaret Fuller was born in Cambridge, Port, Massachusetts, on May 23, 1810. She was raised by her dad, who actually wanted a son and decided to educate her since women did not get the chance back then. Her father used the classical curriculum, which was taught to boys. Her father died when she was only 25 years old. Later in life, Margaret was given more formal schooling, and became a teacher in 1839. This is about the time her famous speeches became a thing. Due to women not being able to speak publicly, so she called them conversations. These conversations took place to teach women who lacked higher education. What really made Margaret a well-known was her writing. The first book that she ever wrote is called Summer on the Lakes, which was based on a trip she had taken. Another book that she wrote was Woman in the 19th Century, which was her feminist classic. Margaret was also known for being an advocate that was involved in the American Transcendentalism movement. This took place in the 1820s. The Transcendentalism movement was a reaction to protests against what was happening at the time. Coming from a past where she had to be a strong woman, she learned ways to stand up for herself, but with no rights, there was only so much that she could do. When her father died, the family farm ended ended up in her uncle's hands, and they gained control over the farm and his finances, and she had to rely on him for support. She was given the chance to get an education as a woman, and felt her need to pass this on to other women so that they could have an education as well. What really got Margaret noticed was the Transcendentalism Journal, the dial which she edited. Some of the things that made Margaret Fuller famous was her writing, editing, and becoming an early feminist. She was also mostly famous for her books, Woman in the 19th Century, and she was one of the first people to fight for women's rights. These are some of the awards that she won. She won Friends Among the Leading Writers and Philosophers of the Day. She came to New York and joined the staff of Tiburon, displaying in her writing a wide philanthropic purpose and occupying a high position in literary and artistic circles. On her return to New York, she renewed her literary work, winning fresh renown as an author and a reformer. She became an ardent supporter of the struggle for Italian independence. Why should we remember Margaret Fuller? Margaret Fuller should be remembered because she was the beginning of women having equal rights. She helped start that movement, which to me is important because I believe all humans should be equal. Not only did she receive a higher education than most women, she passed on her knowledge and taught other women everything she knew in other conversational groups. Margaret also wrote some books and published some famous books as well, and edited some famous papers. But the main reason I think it's important that I remember is because her dedication to women's rights. We use PowerPoint and Minerva and the Muse of Life by Margaret Fuller, by John Van Merhen. Thank you for watching.